It's the morning after a view, and I've got two of my good mates on here with me, as always. One hasn't been on for a while because he's too famous for us, but I'll come to him in a minute. Greg, you know what, lads? How are we?
I'm feeling better now, to be honest. I'm having a nice little orange, getting me 5 a day in, putting in effort. My ma's making me eggs on toast as we speak. Big up Mumsy. That's what you call dying for the badge.
Dying for the
badge. Honestly, I've just said that off camera. I'll say it to everyone watching. That's the first time all season in which I genuinely regret to go in the match. Like I wish I just didn't go. Honestly, lad. And it's not even because we lost. It's not even because of the journey down. I just feel like that whole Saturday was just a waste of a day. I could have done so much more with my Saturday. And instead, I decided to go and... Look, honestly, lad, I don't know. Would I be saying the same if we won? I don't know. Probably not. No, because we fucking would have won. But we lost, and I woke up at 4 a.m. and I got home at 10 p.m. and I basically didn't sleep for like 24 hours. And lad, just a waste of a day. Waste of a fucking day, honestly.
It is. We've got a fair few joining us now. 20 already in the building. Look, it's good to see Liam. Everyone is. CE's in the building as always. Mark said morning, gents. George as always. I have, lad. I fucking have. Look, a sharp lad, aren't I? You know that. The center's in the building as always. But John, as always, how are we? How's the hamstring, son? But do you know what? We've got a famous guest with us today. He's back. My mate, partner in crime. Ross, for people that may not know, they will have seen your video, lad, with Liverpool. And, proud of you, lads. A lot. People don't know a lot of the circumstances, with your health and that, mate, but you always give us the time of day, and you're a good mate of mine. But that video was brilliant, lads. And, it's that video, Ross, give me some little bit of positivity, but I got let down again by the club. But, lad, I just want to say what a video that was, lad, and give us a little bit of insight as to what it was like, lads. Give us some positive before we fucking go in.
Yeah. No, honestly, it was like an unreal experience. I said on a pod, like it's not on the pod, on the video. Like, obviously, I didn't expect it, did I? This all happened off the back of just having a chat with a guy called Gary Kane, a camera operator, right? Yeah. So, and ultimately, all I want to do, like, I've experienced something like, obviously, I know all the fans in the chat would love to go to there, and appreciate. I said on the Premier League show that I wish every fan could experience that because it's mad, right? It's mad. But yeah, like ultimately this started off for me. I just want to take photos inside Anfield. You know what I mean? So but yeah, like it was crazy. It started off with a chat, and then I got told, oh look, can you come to AXA and can you do some photographs of the under-21s? And they said there may be some legends that. I was like, yeah, like get me there straight away, under-21s, whatever. Even if it's the under-16s, I'm there. Like, so I got there, and yeah, it was mad. And they kept it like really quiet. So I arrived. They did all the filming, and all that. And then I was sitting there, and we was doing like some. They were like, oh, can you just play about with your camera, do some stuff? And then next thing you know, I looked to my right, and that's where I see obviously Slots.
So you didn't know he was coming.
No, and like they said to me, they said, "Oh, we thought we'd give it away. Like we thought you clued on to it." Like I was like, I didn't have a clue, And like me, I can speak to anyone. Like it's part of my job. Do you know what I mean? I have to go in and speak to random people. But Slot sat down, and especially like meeting Flo as well. Like honestly, I was like a rabbit in the headlights.
Seems a normal kid, him, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I was saying to the guys in the Premier League, like I'm a 31-year-old man, right? And I'm getting goosebumps over this 22-year-old German kid walking towards me. It's like in any other scenario, you're being brought up there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So it was mad. It was like a special day, and like you go there and you get to see them train, and like the atmosphere within training, like you'll see within some of my photos, all of them are smiling, all of them are laughing. And ultimately, obviously, that's what you want. You want the boys to be in good spirits, right? You don't want them to be hanging their heads. And obviously, they'll be feeling it today after the back of yesterday. But yeah, it was special, man. Absolutely special, And yeah, I get to carry on taking my photos, which is going to be wicked. So looking forward to it.
Look, shout out to Lewis from Beyond the Cop as always, mate. Make sure you're also tuned into his channel as well. Brilliant. He does a lot of stuff, and Lewis, hopefully we can get you on this week, lad, if you're about, because I've got a show that I'll give you some details on when I finish this. But Reds, smash a like, subscribe, and as I say, if you haven't seen Ross's video, go to Liverpool's website. On Twitter or the Premier League Twitter, you'll see it there. It's brilliant, and it'll give you a bit of insight as to what your life's like, Ross. Do you know what I mean? Behind the scenes and, you know, the camera situation, because fuck me, mate, the work you've done. As I say, I was telling the boys before they even seen it, do you know what I mean, weeks ago. Pictures are unbelievable, lad. But we have to talk about the football team, unfortunately, now. Greg, obviously you were there yesterday. I was meant to be there, but I didn't fly back. Thankfully, I didn't. Do you know what, right? When we started the podcast, I thought this was going to be a great year this year. With fucking champions, talking about the glory of the new players, fucking This season, lad, is a disaster. And I am so shocked about Liverpool. It's for me, I'll be honest, Greg, and I'm going to say it on it, this is worse than Hodgson. And the reason why I say that, Greg, we knew we were shit then. We're not meant to be this bad this year, lad. We aren't. Get it in there, lad. Get it in.
I need it, lads. I fucking need it.
Greg, do you know what, right? Do you know, for people that don't go to the match, when you see it live, you realise how gone this team is, lad, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, first and foremost, before I say this, no disrespect to anyone who doesn't go to the game, let alone go to away games, right? I was once that person. I am now luckily in a position in my life in which I can afford to go. I know the right people to go with, etc., etc. It's all felt perfectly in line with me going. So I don't say this out of any spite, and I don't say this out of any form of trying to act better. But when you are in the ground week in, week out, not just going in the ground maybe every now and again, you know, you go to the Anfield game and then you go to Cup and shit. When you're there week in, week out, and you don't miss a game or very rarely miss a game, whether it's home or away in Europe or domestic, your viewpoint of what you are seeing is more likely to be a bit different because you're feeling it. You can actually hear the players. You can see their facial expressions clearly. You can hear the atmosphere which they're playing in. You basically get you're as close as you possibly
feel like
can
you're
get.
there on it with them, lads, aren't you? Because you are there.
Yeah, it's as close as you can get to being to being a player, or as close as you can get to being part of the mentality around, whether it's on the bench or on the pitch or just the entire structure. It's the closest you'll ever get. And you can get all the post-match analysis on TV, obviously, and we don't get replays, whatever, but you see everything for what it is in the ground. And I think, as I said before, yesterday was the first time I've regretted going. It was just a case of, like, we beat Galatasaray 4-0. Granted, they're absolutely shit, right? They are one of the worst teams we've faced this season. However, we can still look at that performance and be like, we played very good. And all we're asking for as Liverpool fans is like, look, we've got Brighton away in 2 days. Let's try and sustain that. Let's try and give them a similar game what we gave Galatasaray. Yes, they are a better opposition, but we've already beat them 2-0 and 3-0 at Anfield this season. It's not like these scrappy little 1-0s that Galatasaray got at their ground. No, we battered them comfortably 2-0 and 3-0 at Anfield. So let's go fucking, do the same. First half, I think we can all be in agreement that there was no bad performance. It was just the most sloppy kind of, execution we've seen. There's obviously a lot deeper to it, but let's just keep it quite face value. Let's keep it quite baseline, and then we can develop on it. It was simply just a case of we were just very sloppy, and we gave them a free goal. That was it. However, there was still enough fight, and there was still enough quality in that first half that got us the goal. Ben, I've been saying to you, and Ross, you can also back me up on this. I've been saying on this stream so many times, the one thing we lack going forward is anticipation. Milos fucking Kerkers, mate. Yeah.
Still only what?
You absolute, wow. Like, that amazed me. The kind of anticipation to just hang around there and just hope that a Brighton player fucks it up. And then you execute that finish so perfectly. Like, honestly, that was incredible. That's what I've been wanting for our attack for so long. That anticipation to just anticipate a mistake, anticipate you getting played a through ball.
Greg, no one's
Anticipate
on in
something
this
happening.
team, lads. They're all fucking
Yeah.
brains.
There's no team. There's individualism. That's why you get Ekatike sometimes getting the ball instead of laying it off, because no one's making that run to lay it off too. Or sometimes you get that moment where, the ball gets cleared out by Brighton and Szoboszlai's running for it, stretches for it, doesn't quite get it. Curtis Jones has run, thinks Szoboszlai's going to get it, stops, and then has to run again to go get the ball, and it goes out of play. There's no anticipation for it, Ben. And obviously this comes from, I believe, this comes from not only the players themselves, but it also comes from the bench. The bench should be saying to the players, you need to anticipate mistakes. You need to be prepared for when a mistake happens. And ultimately, that first half, we didn't build on it. We just completely capitulated. That is the definition of capitulation. It's not a case of we were 2-0 up and then we lost 3-2. No, our performance capitulated. From a moment that second half whistle blew, our performance went absolutely to bed. It was finished. It was done. We had nothing to look forward to. We let Brighton play their game. We just let them turn us over. There was no structure at all. There was nothing to build on. There was nothing really to get excited over. There was nothing that the players seemed to understand with each other. It was like they didn't trust each other. It was like, pardon me, it was like they have never played a game of football with each other. It was honestly the most dysfunctional second half, or just this dysfunctional bit of football I think I've seen Liverpool play all season. And honestly, we're fucking lucky that it was only 2-1. Genuinely.
They should have scored about 3 or 4 goals. Liverpool could still be playing now and they wouldn't have scored a fucking goal. But I just want to say to Adam, I hope you miss your train, you cunt, saying Arnie Slot in. You rat. Well, I hope you had a good weekend in London. Ross, I thought it was a good time to get you on. Obviously, I won't poke you too much on things, lads. I know you're probably going to get noticed a little bit more now. And obviously, with what's coming on, people may see more of you around the Liverpool setup, should I say, Ross, in the coming home games. Won't give too much away. But, I mean, Ross, from someone that's seen them inside their camp in the training ground, it's fucking chalk and cheese, lads, from training to the game days. I think the Reds have gone in the Premier League, Ross. I really do believe that. And whatever the manager does now, lad, it's not going to change. It can't carry on. I don't, it just can't. These players, Ross, are too good. And you know one thing I want to ask you, Ross, because obviously you met Florian, you're seeing him up close, different level of footballer. But when Ekatike came off, Ross, they may as well have fucking brought weights off. Because if you're just going to leave him up there with fucking Gakpo on his own and a fucking ton of midfielders, what the fuck is a number 10 going to do with him, lad? Do you know what I mean? It's, Ross, not just on this game, but where are you at? Because you go the match as well as us. And you see him up close, Ross, and you do see them up close. He sits on the fucking front row. It's a hard watch, Ross, isn't it, to watch the team go like this?
Yeah, it is. And Greg, you mentioned something about going to the ground and having that. It's a different experience, isn't it? Ultimately, all of us go to Anfield. We work all week, and whether we go to Anfield 2 or 3 times a week, we go there to escape. Right? It's a passion we have. It's a team we love. So, I've said many times this season, it is disappointing, because I think off the back of last year, off the back of obviously the money that was spent, obviously there was massive hopes for us to go on and let's be honest, dominate. That's what I thought we were going to do. I thought we were going to go and dominate. We bring in Florian Wirtz, one of the best players, in his position. We bring in Isak, who I thought was the best striker in the league last year. And then this is it. And then we've had this season, and I think the most frustrating thing about this season is just the inconsistency. We mentioned, okay, we played a Galatasaray team that maybe are not the best, but I thought we played really well. I thought that the football was flowing, it was quick, it was was moving the ball well, and we go and score these incredible goals, And then obviously we look at the game yesterday, and the Welbeck goal. There's stuff like that can be avoided. And I suppose the longer this goes on, we don't know the answers as to why it's happening. We don't know. Us as fans maybe won't ever know. But for me, obviously, given what's happened to me recently, obviously I wanted to work out, whether it's Slot in charge, whether it's someone else comes in charge, whether it's Stevie G as interim. Ultimately, we can all sit here and we just want the best for the club. That's it, right? So I think this season has been frustrating. I went 6 years, and I watched us lose one game, which was to Leeds, and I think Somerville scored in the final moment a few years back. And then obviously this season, I've seen us lose at home to United, at home to Nottingham Forest. I was there at Wembley, you know. So it's really difficult and it's hard. Like Greg, I absolutely understand when you say like you regret going yesterday because you almost turn up to Anfield, you know, and you're like, we don't know what we're gonna get. And that won't stop us going, right? We're still gonna go to games.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you'll still be
Of
there
course.
on the away day coach next time. You know, we'll always go to games. That's the type of fans we are. But I think it's just
You
been
never give up, Ross. But you know, Liverpool are a team that don't, are a club that don't give up. But fuck me, lads, it's like they've give up, Ross.
yeah, it's odd because as I
How it
said,
feels,
like
doesn't it?
seeing them train, like you see the atmosphere is very good. You see the relationships there. You know, they're smiling and laughing, and yeah, and then we get to game days and Premier League. Obviously, I don't know where things are at. You know, we're Chelsea are 3 points behind us now because they messed up last
Everton are
night.
fucking 3 points behind now, Ross.
Well, this is it. Like this is not the season
Ross,
we expected.
we're going there. Their fucking season set up to destroy ours, lads. Can I just ask you boys a question? I also, just before I do, just want to say shout out to Saj. I'm going to be with them. Aston's just asked me to go on board a bed tonight at 9:30 as well, so I'll see the boys later. Shout out to Saj for getting involved in the chat. China's always welcome. We're going to do some shows next week as well. But Ross, right now, honest question, because I'm going to pose it to Greg. I'm just sticking with you for a minute. If Liverpool keep the manager, Ross, do you see them getting top? Do you see them getting Champions League football? Honest question, though.
I got asked this question the other day when I was at the studios. I don't know. Because we've been so inconsistent, you don't know
Hard.
which way it's going to swing. This is it. You know, you'd like to point to one bit of the season. You know, I would say our most consistent part of the season was the first 6-7 games, right? We came out winning games. Yeah, and we won in the final moment. So, like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to get Champions League football. I'd love to win a cup along the way. Obviously we got PSG next in the Champions League, and that's a different beast to Galatasaray. Do you know what I mean? So, my honest answer is I don't know. I hope so. I think all of us hope so, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I'll be honest, Greg. I don't think we do. I don't think we do it. I think you know what, Greg, is like, I look at the fixtures, Greg, and the next home game in the Premier League, Greg, the next Prem game is the Fulham at home. And I just know we'll fuck around in that game as well. Because there's no, I was worried last year when the manager said every game we have to really work hard for the points. Do you know, with Klopp, we were fucking 1-0 up before the ball's kicked. We feel 1-0 down before the ball's kicked now, lads. And that's a worry for me. But I look at the away games, Greg. Everton, Man United, Villa, and there's obviously the home game with Chelsea. I struggle to see where Liverpool win, Greg.
Trying so hard not to laugh there, lad. I'm sorry.
I know, lad. Do you get what I mean? Where the fuck are they going to win?
I genuinely, and this is not just me being overly negative or defeatist for the sake of it. I genuinely, like, in my head, I can genuinely picture a world in which United do the double over us, Everton win the first derby at the Hill Dickinson, and we go to Aston Villa, and that confirms that we don't get Champions League football. I can picture that world. It's a real vision. It's a real possibility, and like I did a little video for the Cop TV last night, fucking last afternoon, and I said, look, we really need to do something in this FA Cup and this Champions League to really just get something from these last 2 months. And I'll be honest with you guys now, I'll be so honest. And I don't know, again, if this is just me being overly hysterical, but if this season is going to turn out to be an absolute failure, if we are not going to win the FA Cup and not going to win the Champions League and we're not going to get top 5, I'd rather just get knocked out of it all now and just spare the fucking false hope and delusion and all that. I want to go on a cup run. I want to get to Wembley twice. I want to go to Budapest. I want these things. I do. But if all we're going to get from it is that, you know, something that is just not going to pay off, a sense of hope that's not going to pay off, at least my bank account doesn't have to spend as much money. I can say I can live with it. If we're gonna just get knocked out, if we're not gonna win, fuck all. Just like get it over, just get it over and done with. Just spare the pain, just spare the fucking, you know what I mean? Just get it fucking done. Like just get the job done. Just get the job done, Liverpool. Just fucking go out there and go get to the finals. Get to the semi-finals at Wembley at least. Give us a Wembley trip. Get to Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. Get past PSG. Get us to a Champions League semi-final. Give us something. But if it's just going to end up in misery anyway, then what's the there's you know, it's just false. You know,
and do you know what the worst thing is?
It's better off.
This kicking the can down the road has gone on that long. The can is absolutely fucking twatted now. Do you know what I mean?
And look, I don't know. People might just say I'm being unreasonable, yeah, but I want to hear your opinion after you wake up at 4 a.m. to go down to Brighton for 12:30 and then get home at 10 o'clock. Okay, because that's where I'm at right now. I've done that. I am not feeling good. I am feeling moody. That is just how I am feeling right now. I do not feel good after that trip. I've said I regret going on that trip. If I would have stayed at home, watched the game at home with my brother, and just did anything else, could have gone to the gym, could have gone for a nice walk, played a game of paddle with the fellas, could have done anything else with my Saturday. Until you waste a Saturday like that, I don't want anyone to say that I'm being like whatever.
You're not being negative, lads, or anything. You're being fucking thingy. But you know, like the comments, I think we get Champions League because Chelsea are even worse, Ben. Are they worse? I think we're worse. I genuinely believe we're worse because we've got better players and we're shite. You know what I mean? And see, the thing for me, Ross, is like, I think that the club, they can't be stupid. Ross, this football club prides itself on making good decisions, as we know. They like to use PR. They like to think they go about it the right way. There's no reason as to why sitting on our fucking hands and just hoping we get Champions League. Look, we could make a change, Ross, and still fail to get it. But at least show the fans that you want to try and attempt to fucking turn this around. I just think keeping the manager, nothing changes for me. That's the problem that I've got. And looking at it from a business point of view, Ross, like, if, for instance, my team aren't performing, but I've got someone in the job who is a manager, right? But I know this team are better than they are. I'm looking at the manager going, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what I mean? There's a disconnect, Ross. And just letting it drag on, you know, Ross, it's not going to change things. If anything, you're making it worse because every result now, Ross, I just think it mentally fucks this team even more. This team looks like it needs a new idea, a new direction. And I'd be honest, Ross, right? Say, for instance, Xabi Alonso said he'd come in now. I think, though, I don't know if that would be the right one. I think Xabi'd want time to implement his style for the long term. I think right now, the Liverpool fan base needs to go wild, lads. And I think a Steven Gerrard appointment would send it wild. I think the excitement and the buzz around the football club, if Gerrard came in now, with the next two games being a City tie in the FA Cup away and a fucking PSG away game, I think the only way to drag Liverpool across the line now, Ross, for me, is the fans. Because the fans will rile the players up. And I think the players will get riled up from like a Steven Gerrard appointment. I'd prefer that. Because I wouldn't want Alonso to walk in right now and have to deal with the shit. I think it'd be better Gerrard passing it on to him. Building a bit of buzz back. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, Ross. You can't tell me you're confident if Arnish lost the manager that Liverpool go and get a result in either of them two cup games. I don't. But you know, Gerrard was the fucking manager with the fan base back on side. I think Liverpool could get a result.
Yeah, like, and that's always been the thing, right? I've always found we're like an emotional club, right? The players feed off the fans. Yeah, and we've seen it time after time. You know, history's repeated itself. Istanbul happened. We had the Barcelona game at Anfield that happened. You know, and there was always this kind of unity, wasn't there, between the fans and the players. And look, I don't know. Say, for instance, someone came in now, someone else came in, like Xabi or whatever. Maybe it's not the right time, as you said, because you have to maybe deal with the negativities. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have an answer as to which way the season's going to swing. And as I said, it's not going to stop any of us going to games. We'll all be there at the next game. But it's difficult because there's no point we can sit back and go, yeah, we're confident we're going to get this, because we've had a roller coaster of a season, right? We get a win, we think things are back on track, then we have another loss, and then we lost 6 in a row around the November, December time, didn't we? So yeah, like it's really difficult. It is. And Greg, you mentioned about those early journeys. Like if I'm getting up for a 3 o'clock kickoff, I have to leave at like 6 in the morning. I get up to Anfield 3 hours before kickoff, grab something to eat and have a pint. And then obviously I was up there for the Nottingham Forest game where we lose 3-0, and you're driving home and you're like, how much longer can I do this? Do you know what I mean? It's hard. It is hard. But that's what
Yeah, it
makes us
is.
special, right? We travel around the world watching this club. But it is like even this season and maybe even the only time I've maybe been close to this was that bad season we had under Klopp as well a few years back. Then we finished just fourth or whatever it was. I can't remember. But you sit there and you think it's a long day. It's a long day to go and
What the
watch something that you.
difference with the fucking two managers is you never lost hope, because Jurgen could pull a fucking, a rabbit from his sleeve. He could motivate the fucking anyone. And he's failing to do that, Ross. And that's why I worry if the club stick with what they're doing. You're setting yourself up to fail. This club cannot miss out on Champions League, Ross. They just can't.
No, it can't. It can't. We
So
belong in the Champions League, don't
we
we?
belong in the Champions League, but you have to earn the right to be in the Champions League. Liverpool deserve
course.
fuck all right now, Ross, because you ain't gonna fucking find luck by playing like that yesterday, are you?
No, well, you have to take things into your own hands. It's similar to winning the league title, right? You have to perform your end of the business to get stuff done. Look at Arsenal now. Man City have had a few like hurdles thrown at them, and they've had a few draws, and now they've fallen behind again. And Arsenal have just been going about their business, similar to what we did last year, right?
Yeah, it's
So
taken by.
yeah, we're kind of reliant. I know there was a comment about, with Chelsea are just as bad, but we shouldn't be in a position really where we're saying, well, we'll get Champions League because another team is bad. We should be
Should have
getting
it.
Champions League. Yeah, we should be getting Champions League because we deserve to be in the Champions League, and we do. I think a club of our size absolutely deserves to be there. And I sit here, right, and I've said many times, even before I got to go to the training centre, we spoke about Slot, and I said I think he'd turn it around, and obviously it didn't. Our run of results has been up and down since. But there's obviously I'd love for it to work out. I would, but football at the end of the day is a business, right?
Well, it's
If you're not
results
getting the
based. If
results,
you don't perform, you're out.
exactly. You have a look at what's going on with Chelsea now, and that they give like their manager like a 6-year contract, something like that. And now obviously there's a lot of talk of whether he's going to stick it out there. So at the end of the day, like football is a results-based business, and we've been here before. We've been through the Hodgson days. We've been through, even when Kenny came back, and Kenny's maybe a good point because it did give that crowd a lift, right? So maybe Stevie G could. This is it. So
if you need a lift, there's nothing better than someone. Well, I know Xabi has it as well, but a Liverpool fucking legend, one of the best players the club's ever seen, that will give a lift. And I just think, do you know what I want to see as well is so the spotlight needs to probably go on the players as well and see who's fucking good enough for this team. Right now, it's hard with so many problems. If you take the manager out of it, you can focus on the players then. Because I tell you what, these players have been fucking garbage this year, boys, haven't they?
Yeah, there's been obviously underperformers, I think, but do we know whether it's down to the players or do we know whether it's down to how they're being told to set? We don't know, do we?
I think it's the manager. I think the problem's the manager, personally. That's my opinion on it. And everyone has valid points. And I keep seeing Greg, we were talking about it before. Some individuals say, if you think the manager's the problem, you're fucking stupid. I think that's ridiculous, personally. Because fucking hell, people are all right to quickly say, well, this is a title-winning manager, Greg. These are also title-winning fucking players, Greg. They aren't this bad, Greg. To me, it looks like they're set up to fucking fail. Like, for instance, yesterday, Greg, at the match, why did he think subbing fucking Ekatike for fucking Jones is a smart sub? Liverpool had fuck all. They could be playing now, Greg, and they still wouldn't have scored.
I was on the phone to my dad when I got home, and I was basically saying to him, like, the whole, like, Slot sets up the team with a 4-1-3-2 from what I saw on the BT Sports or TNT Sports graphic inside the ground. So it looked like, there was something there, and it was like, yeah, do you know what? This is new. Never seen this before. Let's fucking have it. You know what I mean? It was good spirits. It was like, you know what? Just trying something new. If it doesn't pay off, then it's like, well, we move on to the next plan. But at least there is some signs of slot, trying something new, trying to find a new way of getting a tune out of the players. Let's fucking go. Let's get at it. You know what I mean? Ekitike gets injured in 2 minutes. It's one of them. It's unfortunate. You can't fault it for happening. It's just one of those things that happens in football sometimes. And I'm thinking, you know what? If we want to try and maintain this kind of new thing, which we're going to try and do, let's bring on Rio. Let's just bring on Rio now. He's almost like Ekitike.
Where it's needed at least 2 fucking things to go at yesterday, lad. Why is he not bringing that kid on? Bring on, by the way.
Bring on Rio. Try and pay him as a more direct striker with Gakpo. Yeah. Try, even bring on Chiesa. I know he doesn't rate him, but that's the problem.
Can I just interrupt you on Chiesa? Look, he's not the greatest player, like, we'll admit that. But fuck me, like, how's he meant to do anything with 2 minutes here, there, and everywhere, lad? What the fuck's he going to do?
No, of course. I can agree with him. I can agree with people who say Chiesa's just not, like, he's not. But if we want to try and maintain a system, which we've started from the game, then why would you not go for as close for a like-for-like player as possible in that first 2 minutes? If that happened in the 60th, right, then you're like, you know what? Sound, we've had 60 minutes of this. Let's just change it up a little bit. It was 2 minutes in the game, and the system which we already started the game with has changed. And then instead of playing the way we wanted, we've now had to change the system. That already causes confusion, right? We play 40 minutes with it, though. We get our goal, and it all starts to be looking good going into the second half. That second half, wait there, before I even chat shit about this, I want to make sure I get all my substitutions right. So I'm going to just get it on a little tab quickly, because I want to make sure that I get them in the right order.
First one was Jones, wasn't it? He done the fucking usual left backs and all that, didn't he?
Yeah. So, what's it called? So Ekitike came off.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm right in saying, the next substitution after that was Kerkez came off, and then Frimpong came off around the same time.
Why?
So you bring on Andy Robertson for Kerkez, which, like for like, that is sound. And then you bring off Frimpong, and you bring on
game, lad. He didn't
and you bring on Rio.
Didn't need to fucking bring Kerkez off, lad.
You bring off Kerkez and Frimpong. You replace them with Robertson, like for like, but then you bring on Rio. And then what happens? Curtis Jones now gets put into right back after playing 45 minutes at centre mid. And then what happens? You bring off Kanate. You bring on who comes on for Chiesa. Chiesa comes on for Kanate, and now Gravenberch is playing at centre back.
It's just
there's like, when has Gravenberch's centre back ever worked this season? By the way, it's like it's never paid off. It's never worked. I don't get why we keep doing this, and that's what I'm saying about how we didn't build on that first half, because the substitutions that were made, let's just call it what it is, they were fucking stupid. I don't get why people. I don't get why some people are so scared to have a go at the manager. People have this idea of, but it's not the Liverpool way to get, you always back the manager. No, I don't give a fuck. Them substitutions were stupid. They were awful. There was no need for them. Like, there was no logical reason behind them substitutions. Jamie Carragher, if he was on the Sky Sports, if that game was on Sky Sports and Arne Slot was there getting interviewed, and Jamie Carragher was asking him why he made them subs, Jamie Carragher would make him look like a fucking knobhead. There's no serious reasoning for why them subs were made. In terms of like the players that came on to replace the players that came off, yes, there was some circumstances. Kerkez came off and he looked like he was limping. Sound, bring on Andy Robertson. That is fine. No one minds that. Ekitike goes off injured though, and you bring on Jones. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Kanate comes off and you bring on Chiesa to put Gravenberch as centre back. It makes no sense. You get Rio and Gakpo and Wirtz in the front three, and you're constantly telling them to fucking switch over sides, and you're telling Wirtz to then drop deep, and every 5 minutes. There is no idea in what there was no idea there, lad. And you both know me. I try my very best to keep a level head every time I talk about it. But it's useless. It's fucking useless, lad. I'm telling you, like, regardless of what he does this season, regardless if he somehow pull off one of the most incredible season turnarounds ever and go and win one of or both the FA Cup and the Champions League, regardless, even if we do that, I don't want to see Arne Slot as Liverpool manager next season. I don't want to. And I've got extra reasons for it as well. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with saying that he is not a long-term manager. There is nothing wrong with saying he is more like Mourinho. Mourinho comes into a club for 2.5 to 3 years. He does a job and he fucks off. Yeah, that's what Mourinho made his career about. He left Inter after winning the Champions League. He left Porto after winning the Champions League. He left these teams after winning everything with them and moved on to the next. And that's how he built his career. There is nothing wrong with saying Slot is a similar style manager to him. He is not a Klopp. He is not a Sir Alex Ferguson. He is not a Pep Guardiola. He is not a Hansi Flick. He's not a fucking Bob Paisley, Bill Shankly. He's not a long-term manager. He's a short-term fella who you bring in. He is not, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, and there is no reason to get angry at people for saying that. Look, us as Liverpool fans need to get out of this delusion, right? And yes, I am going to just say what I believe. I feel like some Liverpool fans need to get out of this idea that every manager needs to have a long-term project under their belt. No, they do not. Not every manager is a long-term project. Slot is not a long-term project. He should not be at Liverpool next season, regardless of what happens. We have seen enough from not just this season, but the back end of last. I'm not letting winning the Premier League cloud fucking those performances from February till the end of the season. I am not letting that happen. Not a chance. Because if that was any other season, right, we actually did the exact same under Klopp the season before, and we didn't win the league because the teams were so close to us. Excuse me. We did this. We had the same drop off, right? And obviously, you could see why we had that drop off with Klopp. Players started getting injured towards the back end of the season, and it was like, well, we're literally playing with fucking academy players at this point. So what else can we do? Now we had a full squad, and the players are still dropping off. We have a full squad, and we had our worst run.
I'm really worried, personally, Ross. Very, very worried. Do you know when the crowd starts turning, Ross, which it has home and away, especially the away crowd, because the away crowd get up every morning, like we've just been talking about, and go on the journeys, and it costs a lot, lad. I know it costs a fair bit going to the home games as well for people who are travelling up, but knowing you're doing it every fucking game, Ross, and Liverpool aren't giving you anything, and the manager's making them substitutions that leave you baffled, Ross. It's only a matter of time. Like, Ross, one thing's for sure is, like, for me, it's become a part of the normal at the minute. I'm not angry, I'm not sad, I'm just fucking used to it at the minute. And it can't be like this, Ross. Liverpool have to make a change. And this is what I'm saying, like, I don't know how anyone can think that another manager can't get a tune out of these players, because one thing's for sure is, Ross, they proved the other day that when they actually won it, like they did against Galatasaray, they'll fucking hound teams to death. But then they resort back to the normal. This manager can't get a tune out of this team. He really fucking can't. And, Liverpool aren't meant to play this way, Ross. Liverpool are a pressing team, a front-footed team, hounding teams, the workhorses, Ross. And they make teams make mistakes. I'm watching the Liverpool team that are fucking dropping off teams all the time. They're allowing the opposition to get back in shape. They're not being a pest to the opposition. They got fucking dominated by a fucking 50-odd-year-old fucking James Milner, for fuck's sake. And a fucking Danny Welbeck that's been around for fucking years. They're getting bullied by teams every game, Ross. And for me, it comes from the fucking manager. They've lost their way with him. They're going out on the pitch, Ross. They're half beaten before the ball's fucking kicked. And let's be honest, Ross, I don't blame the players as much as I blame the manager, because I know these players aren't that bad. But one thing's for sure is, lads, they're set up to fucking fail, Ross. You can't tell me if Jürgen Klopp came in now, he'd get a tune out of these straight away, because they'd want it more, Ross, and they'd also realise that the fucking fans would be on the back if they weren't doing it. But one thing's for sure is, mate, Liverpool aren't meant to be a team that sits off teams. They're not, because it's just not in their nature, Ross. You look at Man United, for instance. Man United's best form this year has been when Carrick's came in with the philosophy of knowing what Man United wants. Arne Slot doesn't know what fucking Liverpool fans want, because he's got no fucking time to bed in with the fucking fan base. As soon as games are finished, he fucks off all the time. But I'm sorry, lad. I know he wants to be with family and all that. I wouldn't be fucking going anywhere when your fucking results are the way they are. 10 league defeats, lad. The fucking season's not even finished yet.
This is it. Like, obviously the league table, obviously 10 defeats. I can't remember the last time we've had 10 defeats. If I'm honest,
lad, that's fucking appalling. And
yeah,
the fucking tough games are to come, Ross.
Well, yeah, we've got some big fixtures coming up, and it is, you know, we've gone back to it. Like, I think the frustration within the fan base is massive. I've said this throughout all the season, and it has grown. You know, you hear Anfield, especially like if we don't attack in a certain way or there's a pass back, like the groans are there. You know, it is there. It's I don't know,
Ross,
this season for me.
16 defeats in all comps this season, lads.
Yeah, like for us, especially where we're supposed to be, is you can't win league titles off the back of that. But I do think they know that though. I do think that obviously the players and that obviously the manager, from what I've seen anyway, you know, when we sat down and talked, he said obviously this season hasn't been good enough up to now. So I think they do that, but then it's how do you rectify it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's all well and good
I've
being
said it
nicey when you're in front of these people, Ross, but then, do you know when you're consistently seeing it over and over and over again? Lads,
But this is what's happened though,
I think
innit?
that's half his fucking problem, Ross. I think he's fucking he's too soft. The team are a carbon copy of him. Lads, James Milner was running around fucking blathering our players and not one of them fucking said anything.
Yeah, it's hard to see because, like, I know there was a stat out about we've been outrun like 26 out of the 30 games this season, and that, like, you always used to have a look at the Klopp numbers and how much we used to run, and like you said about us sitting back, I think there has been a slight shift in how we, you know, off the ball are working. Like, you've got to run.
God. I've just thought of something. I'm sorry to cut you off, Ross. I've literally just
No,
thought
go
of
on,
something then. Right. So we all know how Slot would like always say how much he hates playing against low blocks, etc., etc.
We've become the low block now.
But how the fuck are teams outrunning us if every team is apparently playing a low block according to Slot?
Exactly.
Like, I've just thought then, like,
they're supposed to be sat in all the time, not fucking running anywhere.
How are we getting outrun by these teams who always play a low block against us? I think that shows how tactically inept Slot actually is.
Yeah.
Like, now that I think about it, like, now that you've just brought it up, and it's just a fucking light switch moment. How the fuck have we gotten to this point? Oh, we just don't like playing against low blocks, this, that, the other. But again, I'll run every fucking game. These aren't low blocks.
I can't believe, right? You know what, Ross? You were at the Spurs game, Ross, weren't you, as well? Oh, did you not go that one?
No, I wasn't at Spurs. No,
Spurs, one of the shittest fucking teams in Europe, outrun Liverpool and Anfield. That alone is a fucking sackable offence.
it's been like odd because you think, like, if you think back to this season, like a lot of us after we lost to Galatasaray away, I would say a lot of the fan base was sitting there maybe going, oh, well, you know, I can see us going out now. And then we go and do that. And then I think, I don't know how you felt, Greg, obviously going to the game, but I thought Brighton, we'd go to the game and we'd turn up, we would go and hound them. So it's almost like the games we're not expected to win, we're winning, and the games we're expected to win, and we're obviously dropping points, which is that, I think that's where the frustration comes from, right? It's the inconsistency. It is, of course it is. Like, it's been one of those seasons where you sit there and you go, how have we allowed it to happen? And like, let's be real, we're used to that as Liverpool fans over the years. You know, before Klopp coming in, let's be honest, we weren't the greatest. We weren't.
No,
but I think we've got ourselves into a position where, especially like winning the league last year and having this, how really as a fan base can we sit there and say we've had huge expectations for a season as we did this one? And I think that's been part of the frustration with us, is because we did, all of us thought, like, as Liverpool fans, I like to think at times we were quite level-headed to go, well, yeah, it's going to be tough next year. But I felt going into this year, we were going to go into it and we were going to actually just dominate. That's, the signings we made.
Do you not think, though, that as the season kind of progressed, we almost humbled ourselves as fans and lowered our expectations to a point where it was like, you know what, this is like bare minimum, but I'm happy with it by like November time. And that bare minimum was maybe like You know, maybe put a last little push of the season for the title charge. You know, quite comfortably go through in all these cups, all that, the other. You know, get to the semis of the Carabao Cup at least, or you know, semis of the FA Cup and go through, like, go deep into the Champions League. These standards that we've put, obviously, don't get me wrong, we could still go to the semi-finals of both the Champions League and the FA Cup, so that's still there. But these long-term, like, actual week in, week out standards, we've lowered them so much to a point where it's like they're not even standards or expectations. It's like what will happen now, because the standards are gone. We've got, as fans right now, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for you two, but I'm pretty sure you would agree with me, and I'm pretty sure most of the people in the chat will agree with me. As fans right now,
our viewers aren't soft, Greg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sick of this shit.
You know, I'm pretty sure the chat would, because I know the chat. They're very consistent. I see the same names in the chat every time, and even the new ones when they rejoin. You know, they're not soft. You know, chat. You guys are not soft, but we've lowered our expectations so much to a point where it's like, are we even like? When I was walking out the ground yesterday, I weren't even angry. I was just like,
it's like an acceptance.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was acceptance, but it wasn't like a happy acceptance or a sad acceptance. It was just a full on, just like this. I'm just numb to it, lad. Whatever happens. It's just, I'm just like, you know.
I was saying to the lads, Greg. I was saying to the lads, like, it's the first time I've experienced Anfield since I've been going regularly for the last 6 years, where I've seen genuine frustration just on the build-up of attacks. If one pass doesn't go, say, to someone breaking through, like, there's a lot of moaning within the ground, and like, obviously, rightly so. We should be further up. We should be competing for the title, and obviously, Arsenal are gonna probably go on and win the league now when we should have been in the mix, and obviously, City haven't been up to the standards as well. But I think it's hard this season because you do start to question, like, how much longer can I do this? You know, especially for those, like, you go to the away games. Obviously, I don't go to away games that much, but traveling like 9-10 hours in a coach, in a car, whatever it may be, and then you spend an hour and a half watching the team, and it's not what we want, because we, as you said, the expectations are there, and I think you turn up to the game and you, at the minute this season, you don't really know which Liverpool we're going to watch. Are we going to watch the Liverpool that can turn up and absolutely batter teams? Or are we going to turn up and watch these teams that really shouldn't be coming away from Anfield with a point?
This Liverpool team now, the way they are coached, lads, they're just not going to turn up and batter teams. It's not in the nature at the minute.
But we've seen in Galatasaray, though, they do it. They can do it, though, right?
They can do it, but they're shite. Galatasaray is shite. You know,
I get that. Yeah,
fucking Gala fans in the fucking away end.
I think there's always been like glimpses of something we can like kick on, and we'll experience like a glimpse. And I sat here on the pod in December, Ben, and I said I think you'll turn it around. I think after the Aston Villa result, was it? Because I thought an Aston Villa game we played. We dominated. Yeah, I thought we did well, and I honestly thought it would turn around. And I think this is where it's frustration, because we don't know what's going to happen. None of us can sit here and say whether, like, let's be honest, are we going to get Champions League? We don't know. We don't know whether Liverpool could go on a run now till the end of the season, or we're just going to fall flat again. And honest, how do you have that expectation?
If they keep slots, they won't get it, in my opinion. If they make the change, they have half a chance. Because I just think, like, Liverpool need the fan base on side. The fan base aren't on side right now. They're going to games thinking they're going to get beat. That shit can't that's not going to get you anywhere, is it, really? Do you know what I mean? Home or away.
I said this a while ago, though, didn't I? And I was very hesitant about a manager change, because I'm not I don't think the manager market is what it used to be. You know, you have a look at the manager market many years ago. You used to have top tier managers everywhere. And I don't think that's the case anymore. You know, you're having like the Man Cities who've got Guardiola, who's probably going to leave at the end of the season, let's be honest. And they're looking at Maresca. But Maresca lost the Chelsea job. So what does he do to warrant the Man City job? So, and that's where I'm a bit hesitant, because, like, don't get me wrong, like,
Alonso as well.
Yeah, and like Stevie G, right? So we say if Stevie comes in to the end of the season, he'd give us a lift. But if things don't go wrong, or if things don't go right with Stevie in charge, would I want that to taint what Stevie has done? Because ultimately he's going to be judged for what he does in the job. And I'm not saying that's not
Is
a
he though?
reason to put
Is
him
he?
in or not a reason to make a
Genuine
change.
question. Is he going to be judged? Because we know how bad the team have fucking been, right? But I tell you what, mate, that little change, I think we'd get, like Bobby saying here, get Gerrard in, players will play for him, fans will have something to shout about, get Anfield back to its best. That will
But
make
I don't disagree with that. I don't
yeah,
disagree
yeah.
with
No,
that
no, you
at all.
don't. I know. I'm just saying. But Ross, I can't accept just sitting on our fucking hands and just letting it fizzle away. Because it will fizzle a fucking way, lad. It will fizzle away. I'm not confident Liverpool go to Old Trafford, go to Everton and go to Villa Park and win. Personally. Right now, as things are.
I can't answer that if I'm honest. I'm similar to you. I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you which games I'm confident of winning because it's been such up and down, and it's
Fulham at
one of
home,
those
Ross, you'll be
things.
there. You know,
Yeah,
can't even be fucking confident in them games because Liverpool will score a goal, I'm sure. But fuck me, Ross, they'll also concede a goal.
yeah. It's been a fair few at Anfield. Like the Nottingham Forest one 3-0. That was a tough watch. After
Yeah,
the third went in, like you just see people leaving and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, like next season we'll probably look back on this and we'll think that was a tough season. Because I have no doubt next season we'll be back. I got no doubts about that.
I'm
I
the
think
same.
we'll be
I
back.
think Liverpool could go and if they get the fucking thing right in the summer, we get Champions League, which we need to by hook or by crook, we've got to get it. Do the signings we've spoke about. You've seen a few names coming out now. Liverpool, the league is there to win because this fucking league's garbage. Liverpool realistically should have been fucking pissing this league this year, because realistically if we're playing our front foot of football, no one gets near us. And I know Michael Owen said it. I still fancy us against any team when we're all fit and we've got the right way about us in the game. We'll fucking blow teams away. But right now with this manager and job, he's not going to get anywhere. I've got zero fucking confidence that Liverpool will go to City and win, and they'll not beat that PSG side with him there, and especially with the fan base being down. That's why they need to make a change. And this is the topic I want to come on to. Greg, I'm going to come to you first. You've seen the shit with Edwards and News, the Saudi stuff, because we'll finish it up on the hour. Do 8 more minutes and we'll wrap it up. Because obviously we haven't been doing pods recently, and I want to have a good chat, especially with you two, because you go to games as well. Edwards and News now, it's coming on to them, Greg. But if they don't make the cut now in the international break, I think people will fucking massively go after them too. I really do believe that because they have to do something. And if they are leaving the football club, Greg, the best thing that they can do is try and make it look like they cared at the end. Do you know if they don't make a change in Liverpool, just fizzle out and don't get top 5, every Liverpool supporter will be after them, lad. I'm telling you.
They're the two softest cunts out there. Honestly,
Yeah.
both of them. They are. Let's put it how it is. They are the two softest cunts out there.
This can't carry on, Greg. It's
not even that it can't carry on. They're looking at this sinking ship, right? And they're thinking about just getting off instead of fixing their fucking mess. They are the two softest cunts out there, genuinely. And I think that's putting it lightly. They are two absolute pathetically weak-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Just leaving the ship that they sank or that they are currently sinking.
Oh, they're now starting to
sink. They are involved in sinking. I've honestly been, to be honest, lad.
What do you think happens, Greg, from now to the end?
Oh no, honestly, I just think they stick. I think they stick by him, and then whatever happens at the end of the season. I think they stick by Slot. See whatever happens at the end of the season. If it goes to shit, oh well, off to Saudi. That's what they'll do. That's all. Because sporting directors don't ever have to. They're one of the only people in this world who don't ever have to reap the consequences of their actions. They can just be like, right, in a bit, I'm off. That's it. They just jump. They can literally just jump ship whenever they want. They are immune to the consequences of their own actions. Immune.
Do you know what? It's shit. It's mental, really, because we've got a manager that could have been sacked 3 times this year. Do you know what I mean? That's how fucking mad this season's been. And look, I'd have loved him to have turned it around because he is a nice fella, Ross. You've met him personally up close. You've had chats with him. He was even on your fucking phone, lads. Do you know what I mean? But Ross, We may like the manager, but we fucking love Liverpool more. And at the end of the day, Ross, things have to change. My opinion, I put a tweet out, Ross, and shout out to everyone for watching as always. We're trying to get the shows back on the road again. I think they have no choice but to make a change, Ross. I really do. I think they can't afford the fan base to be fucking kicking off, because at the end of the day, mate, with what's happening with the ticket situation, Ross, 3,000, I think it was given back for Spurs. That's it in pockets, lads, and that can't be happening, Ross. That just cannot happen. I do think he could go in this window, in this international break, because I think the owners have to step in. FSG have got to step in a bit more now, because they're the ones who are going to stay. Look, I do think the club's always been up for sale, but it takes a time to sell a football club, whether or not they stay or go in the future, whatever. But they'll be here a lot longer than Slot, Edwards, and Hughes. And I think they have to get involved now. They seriously have to. I think he could go in this window, because Liverpool have to look like they're trying to fix things, Ross. But that's just my opinion. It's not an avert or whatever. It's just my opinion on it, because I'm looking at it from a point of view that the sponsors can't be happy, Ross. They can't be signing up £1 billion fucking Adidas deals and then falling out top fours and all that shit. Because let's be honest, if you're really going to be honest about it, Ross, with how it's looking now, Liverpool don't look like they're going to get anywhere in the Champions League or the fucking FA Cup. Because to drastically turn the form around like that, Ross, with the manager's way setting them up, I just can't see it any way they go to the Etihad and win, even if City is shit or not. Because Liverpool have been worse. Do you know what I mean? But Ross, where do you lie with it? Do you think they make a change before the season ends?
No, I think I agree with Greg. I think you'll stay till the end of the season, then they'll reassess off the back of that. Because you are right, like football at the end of the day is a business. So, like when you start talking about commercial deals, we've seen with United, like didn't they have a massive Adidas deal, and if they missed out on Champions League, then it was like, their
Get
deal goes down
penalised.
significantly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like obviously that will get brought up. Obviously we as fans won't see any of that or be, have any visibility of it. But my honest
Yeah.
opinion is I agree with Greg. I think end of the season, see what happens, and then it'll be reassessed from there. Whether we go on and do something great, which I know not a lot of us have faith with at the minute. I hope it. Like ultimately, everyone in the chat, everyone who's speaking on here now, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want Liverpool to go and do something special, go to the Champions League, and let's be honest, it would be Liverpool like the fall in the league and then going off and winning Champions League. But I just don't know if us as fans can see that at the minute. I don't think we
I
can.
can't see it
But
with this manager, because you've also got to be able to get the fans up. Do you know what's the worst thing? Someone spoke about it on the Anfield Wrap, their post-match pint, and he said, like, Slot is the worst salesman in the league. He doesn't sell himself to the fan base.
Oh, yeah. Kev Walsh, that was.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the worst things he's done, is having a fucking separation. He should have, because right now, do you know what I thought as well? Because the lad said it as well, and I've been saying it for weeks. That game against Galatasaray and shit like that, he didn't even fucking rile the crowd up. Slot used to put messages in the programmes, and he'd be fucking saying in the press conferences, get there early. Hey, fucking make sure you're there fucking jeering this team on. But he hasn't done anything like that. And that'll be his fucking flaw that lets him down, Ross.
yeah, I think historically all Liverpool managers have had some sort of connection with the club. Klopp was obviously the big one. Klopp got us into a place where from day one, that doubters to believers kind of stuck with us. I think you got it tattooed on you, haven't you? Doubters to believers. Yeah, so like
I'm going to have to
there's
fucking turn it round, because he's made us fucking believers to doubters.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Doubting this team, and I fucking love lads and talk about daily. And that's the sad thing about it, mate, because it's absolutely drained the fuck out of me this year, Liverpool, mate. And I tell you, I sound like a bastard manager. I'd have loved him to have turned it round, but I don't like the way he talks in the press conferences, because I don't think he realised the fucking club he works for. It's all well and good having fucking little chinwags with you, Ross, but at the end of the day, he's been fucking terrible this year.
Well, there's no getting away from that. Football is a results-based game, and as I said, when I sat down and had that chat, obviously I think they know that, but there's one thing knowing it and then trying to react on it, and I think they want to try and make sense. And I hope we sit here come May, and we've done something where, you lads will go out to Budapest and get to experience something like that. I genuinely hope that is the case. But the reality of it is, looking at it now, it probably won't happen like that. But,
Oh,
there's always that hope. Like, let's be honest, we're going to be, the first game of the season next year, we're all going to be there, right? It is.
yeah.
And whether that's with Slot, whether that's with Alonso, whether that's with Stevie, whoever it may be, we're all going to be there. So,
Yeah.
like, all of us are hurting. Like, there's no getting away from that. We don't like seeing it.
It's
So
painful. It's fucking painful. Like, do you know if I would have said to you boys at the start of the season that we're going to be in the 22nd of March, but Man United are going to be higher than Liverpool? You both went, shut the fuck up.
well, it's night and day difference to when we first started speaking in the summer, right? And obviously, me and you speak quite a bit offline, and like I know how deflated you are by it. You fly halfway across the world to come watch us play. Do you know what I mean? So it is a night and day difference, and that's what hurts the most. The expectation was there to go and dominate, to go and do special things. And obviously, when's Isaac back now? Isaac's back. PSG. Did I hear
you've
that?
got
He's back
to, you've got to be realistic as well, mate, haven't you? Like,
he won't be starting, though, will he?
No, is he fuck? Do you know what I mean? And as I say, look, you've also got to be real. I'm a massive fan of Isak. You know what I mean? Fucking, I think he is the one that for me is the only excitement I've got from now until the end of the season is seeing him back in red shirt, personally.
He'll be special for us next year. He will be unbelievable.
He's got to take it down. Like, I can't judge him on the shit that we're getting served. Even if he was on the pitch yesterday, lad, who the fuck was going to give him the ball? You know what I mean? The only one giving him the ball is the fucking ball boy when it's fucking rolled out, when he's rolling it back to a player. That's all he'd have got. You know what I mean? And look, boys, Liverpool have lost. I just want to ask you a question because he's put it in here. He said, go on, I'll say it to you, Greg. Genuine question. Of all three goal slots, Hughes, Edwards, does FSG ring Jurgen Klopp to come back and save us?
I don't know. They might. I don't know if Klopp would want to. I wouldn't blame him for not wanting to. I wouldn't want him to have to save this shite. I don't know. I don't honestly. Like, I'm. That's one of the kind of corners in which I'm stumped in. Like I couldn't picture it. And if I try and maybe say yes, I don't think I could come up with any valid reasons for saying yes. If I try and say no, I couldn't come up with any valid reasons for saying no either. So I'm just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't think it will, but one of them.
You know what? Some things are best left in the past, aren't they? I think Liverpool are on a different route now, and I think Jurgen is as well. I love Jurgen Klopp. He's fucking what he's done for this football.
I think that chapter's closed. I can't see him going back into management.
If he did it, it'd be fucking Germany.
I think Germany or Madrid are the only ones that, Real Madrid. I think are the only ones that would get him to come out. I don't think he'd come back here and do the Prem again.
Yeah.
No,
you never know with football these days. But I mean, it'd have to be something. Germany would be the one that he'd go for. I do think he spoke about it previously, hasn't he? But just one word answer just before we go. We'll wrap up. Ross, I'll start with you. Who would be your top manager to come in? Forget about coming in now. I'm just saying to start the season, right? Realistic. The next season, who do you want? Who would you like to see in the job?
Alonso, right? That's my. I think the fact he played for us, it has to be Alonso.
Okay, Greg.
You lad. To be honest,
me.
Anyone other than Slot, yeah, lad.
I'll be manager using me fucking assistant.
I'd say either Alonso or Luis Enrique for me, because I think with both, there's a case of with Luis Enrique, you know what you're getting. You're getting an experienced, title-winning manager. You're getting legacy. You're getting trophies. You're getting good football. You're getting excitement. You're getting stability. You know what you're getting. That is Luis Enrique. He is probably the best club manager in football as it stands. Let's be real. He probably is. But with Alonso, you get youth. You get what's it called? You do get the excitement factor again. You get the sense of building something.
Because he went undefeated in the fucking season. He can't be shit.
You get a journey with him. You know what I mean? You get all these things, and with both sides of the spectrum, you're half getting something which makes football what you love. So I'm happy with either one of them, to be honest. The only reason, only ever way I'd ever take Gerrard is if it was for an interim role. I'd never take him on a fucking full on. I'd only take him now for the interim role. I'd never take him on a full-time job.
Defend your cunts. Run your cunts. Well, lads, put it this way. If I'm manager, the press will fucking hate me because I'll be going after them. But Reds, we'll wrap it up. Some good
Time to
games
watch the Tarnaway derby.
I'm going to have a little watch of that. Reds, look after yourself. Have a good weekend. Have a good roast dinner because I'm fucking starving. I'm having one today myself. See you after. My one is top 3, Nagelsmann, Alonso and Enrique in no particular order. After the